Hi children, in this video we are going to discuss one more interesting topic children, that is nutrition in human beings. In our previous videos we have already seen that what is meant by nutrition. Let us recollect children what is meant by nutrition. So nutrition is nothing but procurement of nutrients and utilization of nutrients, isn't it children? So procurement of nutrients and utilization of nutrients is called as what children? Nutrition. What is meant by procurement? Procurement means intake, taking of nutrients. So what are nutrients children? We have already studied children in the previous video. What are nutrients? So nutrients are carbohydrates, isn't it? So proteins, right? Fats, we can also call as lipids, okay? Vitamins, minerals, water, isn't it? So these all are nutrients children, okay? So these carbohydrates, proteins, fats and vitamins, minerals and water, so we get it from the plant as well as animal sources children, okay? So these carbohydrates are called as energy giving foods. We have already studied about this one children. And proteins are called as body building foods children. And fats are also called as energy giving foods. Vitamins and minerals helps our body in getting this what children? Immunity. Okay, so these all are what? Nutrients. So these all nutrients are required for our body. For what? For growth and development and also to repair the cells children in our body. Right? So here, can these carbohydrates, proteins and fats, vitamins, minerals and water can directly absorbed by the cells in our body children? No. Because these carbohydrates, proteins as well as fats children, they are complex substances. And vitamins, minerals and water, they are simple substances children, okay? Need not to convert into simple one because they are already simple. Which one? Vitamins, minerals as well as water. But whereas this carbohydrates, proteins as well as fats children, so they cannot use directly in our body children. So they have to simplify children. They have to convert into the simple substances. Then only we can utilize these nutrients, isn't it? So without converting them into a simple substances children, so we cannot use them. Right. So these carbohydrates, they have to convert into a simple substances children. So that is nothing but glucose, isn't it? So they have these carbohydrates must convert into a simple substance, that is glucose. And then what about the proteins? So these proteins should convert into amino acids. Right? And then what about fats? And these fats must convert into fatty acids and glycerol, isn't it? So as we have already discussed that vitamins, minerals are very simple, so need not to digest or need not to convert into simple because they are already they are simple substances only. So how these carbohydrates converts into glucose, how these proteins will convert into amino acids, how these fats will convert into fatty acids children, and where they are converted, isn't it? So they are converted into the simple substances by digestive glands children, isn't it? So where these digestive glands are present, so where this food gets what children? Digested and converts into a simple substances, it is in the digestive system, isn't it? So let us see children, digestive system. So in this digestive system, what happens? This complex substances such as like carbohydrates, proteins and fats will convert into a simple substances such as glucose, amino acids, fatty acids as well as glycerol, children, isn't it? So where they are converted? In the digestive system. In the digestive system, children, digestive system comprises of alimentary canal and digestive glands. So digestive system comprises or contains alimentary canal and digestive system and digestive glands, children. Okay, so we are going to discuss about this digestive glands and digestion, mechanism of digestion in the next video or in the next class. We shall discuss about this alimentary canal, children, in this lesson. What is this alimentary canal? So this digestive system consists of what, children? Are different parts. It is not a simple it is not a simple one. It is a complex. So this is nothing but what, children? Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal starts with what, children? Mouth and ends with what, children? Anus, isn't it? If in an organism the alimentary canal begins with mouth and ends with what, children? Anus, so such type of alimentary canal or such type of what, children? Digestion, we call it as complete digestion, isn't it? Or complete alimentary canal, isn't it? And whereas such as in the human beings, children, so our digestive tract starts with mouth and ends with anus. So it is complete, and incomplete also will be there. That means what? Such as like a what, children? Hydra, as well as what, children? What in platyhelminthes, children? The opening, there is only one opening, children, isn't it? Where food enters through it, and also the undigested food materials will come out through one opening only. That is an incomplete digestive system, isn't it? Incomplete digestion. Okay, so here the thing is, children, before going to study about this digestion, children, we have to understand what terms, that is intracellular digestion or extracellular digestion. So what is this intracellular digestion? So if the digestion occurs in the cell, within the cell, isn't it? So if the digestion occurs within the cell, it is called as intracellular digestion. Then what is extracellular digestion? So this extracellular digestion means, so it occurs in the cavity. It occurs in the what, children? Cavity. So the body in highly what animals, their body is having a cavity, children, in which digestive enzymes are also present in that. Due to the action of digestive enzymes, children, food gets digested, isn't it? So this is called as extracellular digestion. It occurs in the cavity, not in the cells. Outside the cell the digestion occurs, but intracellular digestion means what, children? Digestion occurs within the cell, isn't it? So we are discussing about the human digestive system. So human digestive system comes under intracellular digestion or extracellular digestion? It comes under a extracellular digestion, children, isn't it? So our alimentary canal, human beings alimentary canal, children, so it begins with what, children? Mouth. So mouth is a slit like opening, children. This is mouth, which is bounded by upper lip as well as lower lip, children. Okay, so this mouth opens into a cavity called as buccal cavity, or we can call it as oral cavity also. So this is what, children? Here, let me write it here, buccal cavity, or we can also call it as oral cavity, isn't it? So if you observe what are the structures which are present in this buccal cavity, children, there are two structures which are seen in the buccal cavity. So what is that? First one is what, children? Tongue. First one is what, children? Tongue. And second one is what, children? Teeth. Isn't it? So in the buccal cavity, children, in the buccal cavity, so what is seen? So there are two structures seen in this one. One is tongue and another one is what, children? Teeth. So if you observe this tongue, children, so tongue is a muscular organ. It is a muscular organ. So what is the use of this tongue? So tongue helps in mastigation. Mastigation. Okay. Mastigation means what, children? Chewing the food. It also helps for children, for speaking also. It also helps for speaking. So if I am able to speak, you are able to speak with the help of what, children? Tongue as well as teeth only we can speak, children. If they are not present, so we will be unable to speak things, children, isn't it? So here tongue is a muscular organ, so it helps in mastigation, speaking. Also this tongue have a papillae on its what, children? On its surface, isn't it? So papillae means a raised structures are seen on the tongue, children, and inside that papillae, children, they have a taste buds. So these taste buds are useful for what? In order to recognize the taste, children, isn't it? So if you observe this structure of this what, children? Tongue. This is a tongue, you see they have a papillae, isn't it? A raised structures called as what, children? Papillae. Okay, so we call it as papillae, and inside this papillae, children, we have a taste buds. So these taste buds are useful for what, children? Recognizing the taste, isn't it? If you observe this what, children, so at the tip of this what, tongue, we can recognize sweetness, children, sweetness taste. Just above the sides or the margin of this one, children, say that it is here, so we can recognize salt taste, children. Here also a salt. And just above the margins of this one, so we recognize a sour taste. At the back here, bitter taste, children. So bitter taste can be recognized at the back of the what, children? Tongue, isn't it? So this is about the what, children? Taste buds as well as the different areas where we see a different types of what, children? Taste, isn't it? And next come to what, children? The next one is, the next structure in the buccal cavity is what, children? Teeth. Okay, so this teeth, these are teeth, children. Okay, so these teeth in the human beings are what? Thecodont. Thecodont. So what is meant by thecodont, children? If teeth are present in the sockets, so we call it as a thecodont, children, isn't it? And in human beings, teeth are thecodont, isn't it? And heterodont teeth. Heterodont teeth. So what is this heterodont? Heterodont teeth means in human beings, children, heterodont teeth are seen. That means what? So there are what, children? Different types of what, children? Teeth, isn't it? And their function also. The shape of the teeth are different and the functioning of the teeth are also different, isn't it? If any organism, if their teeth, their structure is different and their functioning is different, then such type of teeth we call it as what, children? Heterodont teeth, isn't it? In human beings, heterodont teeth are seen. There are 4 types of what, children? Teeth generally seen in our mouth, children, isn't it? So before that, let me tell about one more thing also, that is homodont teeth, children. Homodont teeth. So what is this homodont? Homo means what, children? Same. In some of the organisms, for example like shark, children, the teeth are of same shape, size, and the function of all the teeth are what children? Same. So such type of teeth we call it as what children? Homodont teeth, isn't it? The size of the teeth are same, the shape of the teeth are same, as well as the function of the teeth are also same. So that's why such type of condition we call it as what? Homodont teeth. Then what about this heterodont teeth? So the size of the shape, the size of the teeth different, the shape of the teeth different, and the function of the teeth are also different, children. Such condition we call it as what? Heterodont teeth. Is it clear? Right. So heterodont teeth, children. If we see what children? The teeth in the lifespan of the human beings, children, we have two sets of teeth, isn't it? So what is that? So when we are infants, isn't it? So after 6 months of time, children, so slowly in our what children mouth we appears to be a small teeth, children. Those teeth we call it as baby teeth, and those teeth are temporary teeth, children, because they fall after 8 to 10 years of age, and in the place of that what temporary teeth, children, so the permanent teeth will be arises in that what children place, isn't it? So such condition where an organism is having a two set of what children's teeth, successive sets of what teeth in the lifespan, we call it as diphyodont. So what is this diphyodont, children? Those two sets of teeth are seen where? In the lifespan of what children? In the human beings, in the lifespan of what children? Man, two sets of what teeth are seen. So what is the first set of teeth? It is called as what? Baby teeth, or we can call it as what children? Milk teeth also, isn't it? Milk teeth, or we can call it as deciduous for deciduous teeth also, deciduous teeth, or we can also call as temporary teeth, isn't it, children? And their number is 20, isn't it? But whereas after 8 to 10 years of time age, children, so what happens is this temporary teeth will be what children fall off, and in the place of temporary teeth, so permanent teeth will come, isn't it? So their number is what children? 32, isn't it? 32. 16 in the upper jaw and 16 in the lower jaw, isn't it? If we see the dental formula of the what children? Human beings, it is 2 1 2 3 by 2 1 2 3, isn't it? So what is this, isn't it? So this is 2 1 2 3. This is when you observe this one, children, so when you add this one, so 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8, isn't it? 8 and 8. So that means what? Actually we said that how many teeth, children? 32, but here 8. That means what? In a jaw, at the middle of the, we will take the criteria from the half of the jaw only, isn't it? Half of the jaw, that means what? 8, and the rest other half 8. So totally 16 in the upper jaw and 16 in the lower jaw, children, isn't it? So as we have already discussed about the human beings teeth, children, that is heterodont teeth, children, there are 4 different types of teeth, isn't it? So what are they? So here first one is what, children? 2 pairs of incisors, isn't it? Incisors. This is what, children? Incisors. I am writing in a very simple form. Incisors, 2 pairs of incisors. Okay. And here there are 2 pairs of incisors, children. It is of chisel shape. Okay. So I will write it here. Incisors. Okay. It is of chisel shape, children. Okay. It helps in cutting the food. And next, second one, children, 2 pairs, that is canines, children. It is of dagger shape, which helps in tearing the food materials, isn't it? So again, next one is what, children? Canines. It is of dagger shape and it is useful for tearing the food. Okay. So in this this incisors, children, in herbivorous animals, these incisors are very well developed, because it helps in cutting the what, children? Grass. right? And then what about the canines? Canines children, in carnivorous animals children, these canines are very well developed. So that's why when you observe the tiger or dog or cat, dog children, you can see the canines are projected outside, very sharp children, because they are flesh eating animals. They need to tear the flesh of the prey. That's why, so they will be tearing the what children? Food, right? And what about the another one? 2 pairs of premolars and the 3 pairs of what children? Molars. So this we have premolars as well as molars, and these are useful for grinding the food children, isn't it? Grinding the food, okay? And here see this structure children. This is a salivary glands children, salivary glands. Salivary glands. So we are not going to discuss about this one, because salivary glands secretes what children? Certain enzymes, isn't it? 3 pairs of salivary glands are present in a different areas in the buccal cavity children. So we will discuss about this what children? Salivary glands, its secretion, its uses, everything in the next what video, okay? So this is what children? A salivary glands, and this buccal cavity opens into a common opening, common passage of air as well as food children, that is called as pharynx. So this is pharynx children. This is pharynx. This is pharynx children, okay? Pharynx leads into a pipe-like structure children. So this is called as esophagus. It is called as what children? Esophagus children, isn't it? So this esophagus children, okay, it is a pipe-like structure. The length of this esophagus is generally 22 to 25 centimeters in human beings, right? So when we eat food materials children, so the saliva which is secreted from the salivary gland children, and the help of what children? The tongue as well as what teeth, the food which we eat, so it will be what made into a simple simple means what? Simple pieces, into small pieces, and because of the mixing of what children? Saliva, it becomes soft children, and it will become like a ball. It is called as bolus, isn't it? Solid part. So that bolus, so it will what children? Enters, it will passes through the esophagus children, isn't it? So inner lining of this what children? Esophagus consists of mucous membrane, isn't it? So why this mucus is seen inside this water? Esophagus, because this mucus acts like a what? Lubricant, isn't it? And if you observe the structure of this what children? Esophagus will have circular as well as longitudinal what children? Cells. You will study about this one in the higher classes, okay? So circular and what? Longitudinal cells. Why? Because they are helpful for the what children? Circular cells, which helps for contraction, and when it gets contracted, the bolus will be pushed. This is circular, you think. The bolus will be pushed with the help of longitudinal, and again it reaches here. So here contraction as well as relaxation of this esophagus children, it looks like a wave like what children? Motion, okay? That motion we call it as a peristalsis motion, isn't it? So wave like children, peristalsis motion. This is very, very important. Peristalsis motion, wave like motion is seen in the esophagus. That is what? Peristalsis motion, right? So the food enters into the what children? Finally into the stomach, okay? So if you divide the stomach children, divide the stomach into the regions, we can see that 3 regions children, okay? Actually, so here you see children, here this is called diaphragm. It is a dome shaped structure which separates the chest cavity as well as abdominal cavity. This is called as diaphragm, okay? I'll write it, diaphragm, okay? So it is a dome like structure. The use of this diaphragm, we will see it in the respiratory system, because it plays a key role in the process of respiration, isn't it? So here This esophagus will run through the diaphragm, and the food enters from the what? Enters into the what? Food, children, I mean into the stomach. So this stomach will have a 3 regions. So this region we call it as a cardiac stomach or cardiac region, and this is called as fundic region, and this is called as what, children? Where? Yeah, here we call it as pyloric region. So these three together, children, so we call it as stomach, right? So in the stomach, children, the inner lining of the stomach also consists of mucous membrane, children, because it prevents because it secretes a concentrated acid. It is called as what? Hydrochloric acid. Okay, so if this mucous lining is absent in this what, children? Stomach, so it will collide with this what? Inner cells. It will damage the inner cells, and that leads to the ulcers, children. So in order to prevent that, so our digestive system, how it is, children? So inner lining of this what? Stomach also consists of what? Mucous lining, children, isn't it? So it also secretes certain enzymes, children, so that we will discuss in the later, right? So here the stomach, okay, the food will remain here for 3 hours, children. It gets very simple, children, because of the digestive enzymes, so which is present here. So it will churn the food, I mean the stomach, in the stomach the food will be what? Churned by the contractions as well as relaxations of this what, children? Stomach. Okay, it becomes what? Very slimy, children. Okay, very liquid type, children. Okay, semi-liquid. So we call it as chyme. We will discuss it, that one. Okay, so this, from this what, children? Stomach. Okay, the food enters into the what? Small intestine. Isn't it, children? It enters into the small intestine, children, with a sphincter called as pyloric sphincter. There is a sphincter here, so it is called as pyloric sphincter. Okay, so this pyloric sphincter, children, so through that pyloric sphincter it will close and will open. Only a very little amount of what, children? Chyme will enters into the small intestine with the help of pyloric sphincter, right? And here there are certain other what, children? Organs are also seen. You can see this one, largest organ, I mean this is liver. Produces what, children? Bile, and bile don't have any enzymes at all, so the bile juice is stored here in the gallbladder. This is called as gallbladder, children. Okay, right? And this is what, children? Cystic duct. This is hepatic duct. I'll write it here. This is what, children? Cystic duct, and this is hepatic duct, children, and this is common duct, and this one is pancreas. So here this common hepatic duct, children, bile duct, as well as pancreatic duct opens into the first part of the small intestine. It is called as duodenum. So this is what, children? Duodenum. I am writing here duodenum, isn't it? So small intestine. So small intestine, children. So it has 3 parts. So what is the first one? First one is a duodenum, isn't it? So here the bile juice as well as pancreatic juice will opens into this what, children? Duodenum, right? We will discuss about what contains this, what enzymes are present in this one. Okay, so this one is what, children? Duodenum. Okay, and the second part of the small intestine we call it as jejunum. Jejunum, children. And third part, this one, jejunum. And third part of the small intestine, it is called as ileum. Okay, ileum, isn't it? It is ileum, children. Okay, so this ileum, this is a small intestine. It is a very long, children, near about 6.5 meters what length this small intestine is seen, children. So small intestine, it doesn't mean that it is very small, children. It is the lumen of the intestine is very small. The diameter of this one is very small. That's why it is called as small intestine. Okay, so this small intestine opens into what, children? Into the large intestine. So this is large intestine, you see. So this is a large intestine, children. And this large intestine also, okay, consists of 3 parts, children. Okay, the first one is cecum. This is cecum. Cecum, I'll write it here. Large intestine consists of cecum, isn't it? So this cecum, it is a vestigial organ. It is a waste organ, isn't it? So waste organ in human beings. Why? Because in this cecum, children, there are several microorganisms are present actually in the human beings. So here they are absent, but in the herbivores, children, so in herbivores, cecum is very much helpful for the herbivores, because they will digest the cellulose, because herbivores animal eat grass, and grass consists of complex what, children? Carbohydrate, that is cellulose, and it is very difficult to digest the cellulose. In herbivores, the cecum, in the cecum, children, there are several microorganisms which helps in digestion of what, children? Cellulose. Okay, but in human beings, so it is of vestigial organ, children, because there are no microorganisms seen here. There is no cellulose digestion because we don't take grass, children, isn't it? And there is this cecum, children, there is a projection outside like this. This is called as vermiform appendix. We can also call as appendix, right? So this is what, children? Appendix. This is also a vestigial organ, children, but in children, especially in children, the appendix will be enlarged, and we need to what, children? Surgically we can remove this what, children? This appendix part, children, because it is of vestigial, it is of no use at all in the human beings. So the first part of this large intestine is what, children? Cecum, right? This cecum. And the second part is what, children? Colon. This is what, children? Colon. You can see the several folds here, children. Okay, this colon is also consists of what, children? 3 regions. This is called as ascending colon, this is called as transverse colon, and this one is called as descending colon, children. Okay, so this is called as ascending one, ascending colon, and this is transverse colon, transverse colon, and this is what? Descending colon, descending colon. So here most of the what food particles get digested and absorbed here in the what, children? Small intestine only, isn't it? We forgot to say one thing, children. In the small intestine, the inner lining of the small intestine consists of what, children? What finger like projections called as villi or villi, isn't it? So these are called as villi. Okay, and they inside this villi, children, there are what? Blood capillaries are also seen inside, because when the food gets digested, children, so blood will absorb the digested food particles and it will supply to the cells. Okay, and this villi also consists of very fine hair like structures called as microvilli. Microvilli, children, isn't it? So most of the food gets digested in the small intestine and it gets absorbed with the help of what, children? Villi. But here in the large intestine, children, there are no digestive enzymes. There is no digestion seen here, but only water will be absorbed in the large intestine, children. Okay, and here the undigested food particles, isn't it, with the help of paralystic movements, children, the bowel will be moving in the whole alimentary canal, and the undigested food, children, it will reach to another part, children. This is called as rectum. The third part of the large intestine is rectum. So this is rectum, and here undigested food materials will be temporarily stored, children, isn't it, and temporarily stored, and when this bag or sac-like structure, that is rectum, is completely filled with a stool or a fecal matter, children, or undigested food material, so it will be expelled outside through anus. This is what? Anus. Right? So our alimentary canal begins with what, children? Mouth, and ends with anus. So this is complete alimentary canal, children, isn't it? Okay, so this is about what? This is only about what, children? Alimentary canal, isn't it? So mouth, buccal cavity, how the passage, let us see the passage of what, children? Food in the alimentary canal. So here mouth, from that buccal cavity, and common passage pharynx, through pharynx from the pharynx bolus enters into the what, children? Esophagus, with the help of peristaltic movements. Then the food from the esophagus, this is called food pipe also. Esophagus is also called as food pipe. So it enters into the stomach, it remains there for temporary for 3 hours of time, and the food gets what, children? Digested or simplified because of the gastric juices here, and spinoric sphincter, and it enters into the small intestine. Small intestine have 3 parts, children. First one is what? Duodenum. Second one is what, children? Here jejunum, and third longest part of the small intestine, that is ileum, children. So most of the food gets digested here in the ileum itself. Okay, the length of the ileum, so if we see, it is of 6.5 meters, children. Okay, and if you see the whole length of this what, alimentary canal, it will be around 9 meters of length, children. Okay, and here third part, that is ileum. Ileum opens into a large intestine. The first part of this large intestine is a cecum. Cecum is a vestigial organ, and they have a small projection to this cecum. It is called as appendix. It is also vestigial. It can be removed by a surgery, children, when it enlarges. It causes lot of abdominal pain, children. Usually we see in the children. Okay, and this cecum, and another part, next part of the large intestine, that is what? Colon. Colon is what? Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, children, and this descending colon opens into another structure, sac-like structure, that is called as rectum, and this rectum is temporarily undigested food materials are stored here, and when the sac gets filled, children, it is expelled outside through the anus. So this is about what, children? Alimentary canal. So that's all for today, children. So we will study about digestive glands, children, and mechanism of digestion in the human beings in the next video, children. Okay, so that's all for today. So I hope you have understood this class, children. So if you really enjoyed my class, so please subscribe to my channel, and if you feel that it is needy, so please share it to your friends also. That's all for today. Thank you very much.